Hello and welcome to the news on NTA International. You can watch this broadcast live on Vision TV 24/7 and other social media platforms displayed on the screen. I am Dennis Adegunloye. President Bola Tinubu will depart Abuja, the nation's capital, Abuja. Nigeria Electricity Regulatory Commission issues new directives to distribution companies on implementation of new tariff. Senegal names new government as first test for Faye's promised radical reforms. And federal government launches innovative identity solution with functionality for social and financial services. President Bola Tinubu will depart Abuja for Lagos on Sunday ahead of the Eid-el-Fitr. In a statement by his special advisor to him on media and publicity, Ajuri Nglali, the president will observe the moment in prayers for Nigeria with his family. However, the president will continue official duties during and after the Eid-el-Fitr holidays. The Nigeria Electricity Regulatory Commission, NERC, has directed all electricity distribution companies to ensure that only the newly approved Band A feeders listed in their April 2024 supplementary orders are maintained as Band A for the purpose of vending to prepaid customers and billing for postpaid customers on their networks. The Commission also mandates all the distribution companies to immediately post on their website the schedule of approved Band A feeders that have been affected by the new tariff. In addition, all distribution companies are to set up a portal by 10th of April 2024 on their website that will allow customers to check their current bands by entering their meters or account numbers. Consequently, NERC directs that all customers wrongly billed at the new tariff should be refunded through energy tokens no later than Thursday, 11th April 2024. And the distribution companies are required to file evidence of compliance with the Commission by 12th April. The Commission assures that it will continue to monitor compliance with the new directives. Now, the military is upscaling or advocating upscaled synergy with other security agencies, governments and non-government bodies to streamline efforts in countering threats to national security. Chief of Army Staff Lieutenant General Taoreed Lagbaja stated this in a message at the Army War College Nigeria Inter-Agency Seminar for participants of Course 8 2024. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa reports that the seminar focused on consolidating on the existing relationship towards effective inter-agency collaboration in addressing multi-dimensional security threats in Nigeria.
Between relevant government actors required. Additionally, dialogue and cooperation between government and non-governmental actors is vital in preventing and countering terrorism and other forms of violence.
It is essential to always employ all the elements of national power to stem the tide. However, the projection of the elements of national power globally requires a holistic approach that involves security agencies as well as the ministries, departments and agencies to cooperate and collaborate towards attainment of national objectives.
Agencies involved will need to make concerted efforts to forge strong partnerships and seek coordinated solutions that leverage expertise and capabilities across fields.
Army chiefs at the events noted that the volatile and ambiguous security environment requires operational leadership that understands the changing dynamics. In the meantime, a board of inquiry has been set up by the Defense Headquarters and the Delta State government. Their terms of reference are to, amongst other things, work towards restoring normalcy to Okwama Ugili south of Delta State and its affected communities following the killings. Tessie Coker reports that the chairman of the board, Air Vice Marshal David Ajayi, and other members were in the Government House, Annex Warri, to pay a courtesy visit on Governor Sheriff Obore Warri.
Board of Inquiry and its members are in Delta State to seek the support of the governor to enable them carry out a proper investigation on what led to the unfortunate incident that occurred at Ukwama. For the chairman of the board, this is not the time to apportion blame. Rather, it is a time for them to gather facts from security agencies, community leaders, and community dwellers. He called on the governor to assist the board in his inquiry to ensure that relevant stakeholders are invited to give account of what led to the crisis.
We are here on a fact-finding mission, not to apportion blame, not to say you are guilty or you should be punished or whatever, but to find out the fact about what has happened. It has happened, it shouldn't have happened, and we pray that it will never happen again, so that Delta State can move forward. Delta State can be prosperous for all and sundry. Because if we are to come up with reports that will help the defense headquarters take decision to forestall future occurrence, and also to enhance the relationship between the military security agencies and the immediate community that they are sworn an oath to protect.
Governor Berewo is pleased with the developments as he assured the military of government's cooperation in the matter. He says his administration is saddened by the recent crisis that led to the killings of some army officers and soldiers at Ukwama community in Ughelli South.
Setting up this board of inquiry is a very good one. We want to assure you that whichever information you want, we will give to you. We also come with our position paper to submit to you before you leave. That will also guide you.
If the collaboration by the Delta State government and the military to restore peace in the area is anything to go by, then economic activities will thrive again in Ukwama and its neighboring communities. Tessie Coker, NTA News.
And staying with security-related matters, Commandant of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, NSCDC, Olushola Odumosu, says aside from the ongoing joint security operations, the command will be deploying personnel in the range of 5,000 for the Eid-el-Fitr celebrations. This is as other agencies are also making special arrangements towards ensuring hitch-free celebrations. Onoze Yakubu reports.
Security agencies are of the firm warning to criminal elements in the territory with intents to disturb the peace of the nation's capital during the festivities, that there will be no room for their business to thrive within the FCT space. As such, they hint that operational orders on security preparation for the Eid-el-Fitr celebration are going to witness heavy presence of personnel through joint security team show of force to provide watertight security for residents. Beyond that, intelligence-driven policing in covert and overt operations, motorized patrol, raid of black spots, as well as stop and search will also be visibly utilized.
For the Eid-el-Fitr, we have made adequate arrangement, that is from the B-Ops area commanders to the divisional levels. This time around, all the tactical teams are going to be involved, even the EOD. So in case if there's any IED within the area, they can easily be detected so that they can easily be diffused and be destroyed.
With resident expectations high following the upscale of crimes such as kidnapping and one chance in the nation's capital earlier in the year, Civil Defense Commandant Olushola Odumosu further hints that collaborative efforts between the agencies exist to ensure that criminals face the repercussions of their actions.
Of course, it is not far from the truth. We have a wonderful working relationship within ourselves. The security agencies, all of us, are working towards the same goal. The civil defense, the police, the DSS, the armed forces, and other security agencies within the FCT. We have a model that we follow, and of course we share intelligence among ourselves. we meet time to time to deliberate on the security situation in FCT and how we can, ensure that there is peace and order in FCT.
The agency is assured that operations have taken to task and will give troublemakers tough time, emphasizing the critical role of residents to achieve service delivery through provision of critical information. In Abuja, Onotu Yakubu, NTA News.
In the meantime, the Ekiti state government says it has invested in the security network in the state with constant engagements, provision of necessary operational equipment, and setting up of a security committee with neighboring states to enhance joint border patrols and intelligence sharing. Governor Biodun Oyebanji disclosed this at the public lecture organized by the Nigerian Union of Journalists, NUJ, Ekiti State Council, with the theme Breaking the Barriers to a Secured Society. Olukemi Sani has details.
The governor, represented by the SA on security in the state, Brigadier General Ebenezer Ogundano, who lamented the recent security breaches in the state, said all security architecture have been rejigged for effective crime control and prevention.
Excellent farmers conflicts. Though no violent confrontation has been recorded in recent time, but with switch in insecurity and destruction of farms, of farm produce by criminal assessment, clashes will be unavoidable in no time.
On security matters, we know what our government is doing. It's not leaving any stone unturned.
Chairman, Council of Amotekun Corps in Southwest, Adetunji Adeleye, said the existing security agencies in the country are doing their best to provide security, but lamented that bureaucracies and other factors have limited their performances in addressing kidnapping and other crimes. He argued that only local and grassroots networks of security would help to effectively tame the activities of criminals.
Promoting transparency and accountability in governance is critical and crucial in combating corruption and building public trust.
Speakers at the event harped on ways in breaking the barriers to a secured society. The ceremony was attended by security agencies, traditional rulers, youth and civil society organizations within and outside the state. In Ado-Ekiti, Olukemi Sani, NTA News.
In other news, Corps Marshal Federal Road Safety Corps Dauda Biu says the Corps will not relent in arresting trailer drivers who continually engage in conveying goods, animals and humans until the trend is stopped across the country. He said this at the Salah Mega Motor Park rally at the Zuba Park in the Federal Capital Territory. Oyeyemi Ajayi has details.
Close control, motor spin like Ikoto. No kill me for road. It's another Salah celebration, and as usual, high vehicular movements are expected across the country. Not leaving any stone unturned, even being on a Saturday, the Federal Road Safety Corps remains unrelenting in re-echoing the message of safety on the highways, especially taking serious actions against overloading of trailers with humans, goods and animals, which has led to loss of lives in the past 1 month. This is in spite of the arrest of 35 trailer drivers within the period. This time around, the campaign was taken to Zuba Park of the FCT by the Deputy Corps Marshal Operations, Shehu Zaki, who represented the Corps Marshal Dauda Biu. It was to herald the message of safe driving during and after Salah celebration.
All commanding officers have equally been directed to step up patrol operations and ensure strict enforcement of critical offences like overloading, driving rickety vehicle, excessive smoke emission.
The Corps Marshal says the Corps will not relent in arresting and prosecuting road offenders, especially the recalcitrant trailer drivers who still disobey traffic rules, as more mobile courts have been actively established to try road traffic offenders. Oyeyemi Ajayi, NTA News.
Senegal. Let's head to Senegal now, where the country's Prime Minister, Ousmane Sonko, says the new government is one of proximity, innovation and efficiency. Prime Minister said this at the press briefing in Dakar as he announced President Bassirou Diomaye Faye's new cabinet. Jummai Stevens will now tell us more.
The Prime Minister unveiled the new cabinet made up of 25 ministers and 5 junior ministers, a list approved by the President. He said the performance of the Council of Ministers will be closely watched at home and abroad. President Faye has promised bold changes, including dropping the West African currency, the CFA franc, and an audit of the oil and gas contracts Senegal signed with foreign companies. Sheikh Deba, a bureaucrat who served as the head of budget programming, was named finance minister, while Birame Souleye Diop, who was vice president of Sonko and Faye's now dissolved Pastef party, was handed that of oil and energy. Yassine Fall, vice president of Pastef, was made minister of foreign affairs. The president appointed Ousmane Sonko, his mentor and confidant, Prime Minister shortly after being sworn in on Tuesday as Senegal's 5th head of state. Jummai Stephen, NTA News.
Yeah, on to the news on NTA International. We'll have more reports after this break. Stay with us. You're welcome back. Now, the New York Police Department says there were no damages or injuries reported from Friday's 4.8 magnitude earthquake. New York's Mayor Eric Adams, at a news briefing, urged New Yorkers to go about their normal activities. Let's get details with Jummai Stephen.
The United States Geological Survey says there have been at least 18 aftershocks since the quake, including a 4.0 magnitude recorded southeast of Gladstone, 20 minutes from the epicenter at 5:59 p.m. The United States Geological Survey estimates in its aftershock forecast that there is a 74% chance of magnitude 3 and above aftershocks happening within the next week, and just 1% chance of aftershocks magnitude 5 and stronger. County officials in New Jersey's Hunterdon County, where Lebanon Township is located, say there were no reports of injuries or evacuations in the area around the epicenter. Board of County Commissioners said a damage assessment was on the way and officials were beginning to receive reports of structural issues in buildings. The city's public safety director said 3 neighboring homes in Newark, New Jersey, were evacuated after residents reported structural damage. The situation is same according to Newark public safety director, who said no injuries were reported, but firefighters responded to calls about structural damage in 3 buildings more than 30 miles from where the quake originated. Consequently, 10 families made up of 25 adults and 3 children were relocated. The U.S. Geographical Survey says Friday's 4.8 magnitude earthquake, which rattled buildings across parts of the Northeast, had tremors felt from Washington, New York City to Maine. It was the 3rd largest earthquake recorded in the area in the last 5 decades and the strongest in New Jersey in more than 240 years. Jummai Stephen, NTA News.
Let's head back to these shores, and the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, has encouraged Nigerians, especially Muslim faithful, to explore the remaining days of the month of Ramadan to seek divine intervention from Almighty Allah to strengthen those making genuine efforts to positively turn around Nigeria's fortune. This was at a special iftar breaking of fast with stakeholders under the ministry he supervises. Salihu Guanara reports.
Members of the top management of agencies under the Ministry of Information and National Orientation, particularly those with the same faith, are here to explore the spiritual benefits in the last 10 days of the month of Ramadan and demonstrate brotherhood.
At this period of our history that we are facing a lot of challenges as a nation, We need to come together to pray, to go back to God, and take our religion very seriously. Listen to the voice of the leaders and pray for them. The president particularly requires all of us to pray for him. He means no doubt very well for this country. He's taking very tough decisions in the interest of our nation, and all of us should come together and rally around him, pray for him, pray for our country, and hope that the prosperity that Nigerians so desire will be here very soon.
He encouraged Nigerians, irrespective of their religion, to showcase genuine commitment through their actions and conduct to build a country that citizens deserve and desire.
Ramadan is not just for you to be good and then after you go back to your old bad habits. The Ramadan should be used as a springboard, so to say, for people to, like I said, re-examine their ways and go closer to God.
We need to pray for the unity of this country. We need to pray for the prosperity.
Special prayer was held for the country and its leaders. In Abuja, Saliu Gwanara, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the National Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs, NTAi, through its Education, Social and Health Mission, in collaboration with the Federation of Muslim Women, FOMWAN, and Muslim Sisters Organization, MSS Sokoto State Chapters, has presented assorted food items to 100 households in Sokoto to enable them to observe the Ramadan fast with ease. Bashir Ibrahim Nababa reports that the distribution exercise was conducted at the Zakat and Endowments Commission, Sokoto.
These are among the 100 households drawn from the state capital, Sokoto, to benefit from the act of generosity. Items distributed include rice, beans, sugar, spaghetti, vegetable and palm oil to bring succor to the beneficiaries.
It's not only in Sokoto that this kind of charity activity is going on in this Ramadan. This is only a small fraction of what MESH is doing.
Sincere appreciation to the Supreme Council of Islam in Nigeria through the MESH organization for this magnanimous gesture that they have done to Sokoto State today. As we can see, we have more than 100 households that are going to benefit from this package.
Sokoto is among the states in the Federation selected to benefit from the charity in the spirit of the month of Ramadan. From Sokoto, Bashir Ibrahim Nababa, NTA News.
And a bit from the political scene, the new Nigeria People's Party has commenced a major restructuring process to make it more attractive to Nigerians ahead of the 2027 general elections, with special focus on education. The 2024 National Convention has, among others, adopted Education for All as the new slogan of the party. David Aire reports.
The dominance of the party in Kano, home state of its national leader, Senator Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, is a good story to share, but that is not all the party wants. It is therefore carrying out a process to become attractive nationwide with some amendments carried out in its constitution. A new flag, logo, motto and slogan have been introduced and ratified. The convention also approved the appointment of Dr. Ajuji Ahmed as the acting national chairman. Some members of the National Working Committee, with Ladipo Johnson now the party spokesman, and the two deputy chairmen for North and South.
We will do whatever it takes, like we did in Kano and elsewhere, to ensure that each and every child in this country goes to school. We will do whatever it takes to ensure security, to ensure that poverty is eradicated, and we have all what it takes to do that.
The party is also working round the clock to spring surprises in the forthcoming Edo governorship election.
We are coming to Edo State in peace to ensure that we declare, campaign, campaign with our manifestos that will make even every common man important with time when education is given to all.
Even though outside politics is a grassroots person, so we are very, very hopeful that come to September 21, 2024, NNPP is going to win the election in Edo State.
I'm not disturbed at all. Anything that happened before can happen again. So that is why I'm too sure that we'll have victory.
The 2026 elective convention will usher in new officers of the party. In Abuja, David Ire, NTA News.
Let's now get the weather prospects for Nigeria on Sunday and other world cities. Well, that concludes the news on NTA International. Many thanks for watching. I am Dennis Adegunloye.